of the Guam legislature has introduced a bill to hold a Jotnya recall election.
Hafide and good evening. The government of Guam's appeal in the Dave Davis Supreme Court case has been filed. Adelup Policy Director Carlo Branch confirms the stateside law firm of Kirkland and Ellis has taken over the case and filed the appeal. Branch said attorney Mike Phillips is the lead advisor on the case, but Kirkland and Ellis is the filing firm. Governor Lulian Guerrero previously told KUAM the firm agreed to take Guam's case pro bono or for free. A statement from attorney Mike Williams, the Council of Record, said the Ninth Circuit's decision invalidating the plebiscite legislation rests on two basic errors: that the plebiscite was a vote under the 15th Amendment and the plebiscite was limited on the basis of race. After 3 years and a mistrial, it's finally come to closure. The criminal case against a former high-ranking police officer has been dismissed. Superior Court Judge Maria Senzon dismissed the criminal case against former police colonel Mark Charfus. Charges were filed against him following a 2016 incident in Agate where this video went viral.
What the are you guys doing there? You know what's wrong with the
Christmas Eve 2016, Charfus was seen on police body camera footage yelling at junior officers responding to reports of fireworks. As reported, he was demoted, then fired, and charged with the misdemeanor of obstructing governmental functions and official misconduct. In 2018, a mistrial was declared and a new trial moved forward. His defense attorney Randy Cunliffe arguing double jeopardy, and today, Judge Senzon dismissed the case with prejudice, meaning her decision is final.
It's great news, and a lot of my family and friends who heard of the news have said it's their best Christmas, and so, it's finally over, and so, that's good news for me.
3 years in and out of court hearings, Charfus tells KUAM he's been taking everything in stride.
Honestly, I just live one day at a time. I don't have any ill feelings or anything to that nature, and I just take one day at a time, and now that the criminal case has been resolved, that's behind me. I'm moving forward. And as far as having any ill feeling or affecting me negatively, I don't have any of that.
Although the criminal charges have been dismissed, Charfus is continuing his legal battle to get his job back at the Guam Police Department. Following the 2016 Christmas Eve incident, in February 2017, then Chief J.I. Cruz demoted and then fired Charfus from the force following two separate investigations, one into the actual fireworks incident and the other following interviews he conducted after. It was days after the Christmas Eve incident, Charfus told his side of the story to KUAM. The video that went viral, he said, was only but a clip. He alleged that responding officers were conducting illegal searches of homes without probable cause. He also justified his yelling to an illness that prompted him to raise his voice so that officers could understand him.
I did not appreciate the officers treating the residents of Agate in such a manner that like they were common criminals. That is what that if anything, that got me ticking.
The appeal of his termination goes before Superior Court Judge Vern Perez in a little over 1 month.
Like anything else, I can't wait to have my day in court, and hopefully, we'll be back in the Guam Police Department the month, in February. So, that's what we're hoping for.
While he's been sitting behind bars waiting for his trial in February, Vice Speaker Talina Nelson introduces legislation to move the village of Jotnya forward. Bill 259 would initiate a recall election of Jotnya Mayor Jesse Blas. In September, he was indicted on federal charges related to extorting and accepting bribes from a confidential informant posing as a drug trafficker to smuggle in meth through U.S. Postal Service cluster boxes he oversees in his village. Since his arraignment hearing in September, he's been locked up and as a result has left the village of Jotnya without a leader. Although local law mandates all villages have a municipal planning council, Blas never appointed one. Vice Speaker Nelson introduced the legislation following a town hall meeting she held in Jotnya last week. During the meeting, dozens of residents expressed their concerns about the lack of leadership in the village. Bill 259 would appropriate about $23,000 for the recall election. Police are still investigating the murder of Juan San Nicolas Uggan. Guam Police Department spokesperson Sergeant Paul Tapao says detectives continue to look into leads.
We are still continuing with our interviews. Our detectives continue to ask the community that should anybody have any information that can aid them with this case, to please submit their tip information to the Guam Crime Stoppers tip line at guam.crimestoppersweb.com, or they can call our dispatchers at 472-8911. So this is an active investigation with our detectives from the Criminal Investigation Division.
A gun was shot to death outside his Manilao home on December 11th. An eyewitness told KUAM he heard a scooter pulling away after he heard a gunshot shortly after 2 in the morning on that day. Meanwhile, Tapao asks for the public's patience as police continue to investigate the case. Meanwhile, police have arrested 35-year-old Arsolo Robert, and he's been charged with the following offenses: aggravated assault as a second-degree felony with a special allegation attached for the use of a deadly weapon in the commission of a felony, and aggravated assault as a third-degree felony. As reported, it was on December 15th, GPD responded to a stabbing complaint that occurred on Adrian Sanchez Street by Daily Martin Harmon. A male victim was transported to the Guam Regional Medical City for laceration injuries. He was later treated and released. According to a press release on Christmas Day, the victim reported to the Tumon Precinct Command that the individual responsible for the stabbing had been spotted and he was picked up. The public auditor's report on bonuses and raises given by the Consolidated Commission on Utilities is complete, but will the Attorney General prosecute based on its findings? Chris Barnett has more.
Public Auditor B.J. Cruz's report on Consolidated Commission on Utilities raises and bonuses says some $1.3 million in raises and bonuses given by the CCU from 2014 to 2019 violated the open government law. Attorney General Levan Camacho told the CCU raises and bonuses it gave in a November 2018 meeting were illegal because they were discussed in executive session, a violation of Guam law. The CCU was told in an opinion that the raises would have to be paid back. However, no criminal charges were ever filed by Camacho. Earlier this year, the AG and the OPA announced a partnership, and according to Cruz, the AG asked him to see if there were more illegal raises and bonuses given.
They've done it 10 additional times during that period where they've made increases and discussed it in the executive session.
Cruz said the CCU is confused about the law, but he says it's very clear. Discussion on raises and bonuses must be conducted in public, not in executive session.
The CCU on their part believes that if they make the motion in open session that approving whatever they discussed in executive session, having no discussion in open session and approve it in open session, that they've cured the violation. We contend that it's not.
The OPA report also found that a former chief financial officer for the Guam Waterworks Authority was hired under a contract arrangement for 11 years. But Cruz said GWA couldn't provide a copy of any contract. Cruz forwarded this and all of the report's findings to the AG. We asked Cruz if he was the AG, would he move to prosecute?
Just as an example, just bring action on it. Just to make the point, because it really is rampant. We've referred all of that to him to see if he's going to take any action.
Cruz said the AG should issue a clearer opinion on how long it should take for illegal raises and bonuses to be paid back and whether or not the net or gross amount should be repaid. In a release, AG Camacho said he agreed that, quote, there appears to be irregularities with employee pay raises and bonuses and potential violations of Guam law. AG spokesperson Carlina Charfaris told KUAM when we asked if any prosecution would result from the OPA report's findings that a previous release from her office said, quote, there may be civil, criminal, or administrative resolution and that it would be done on a case-by-case review. End quote. Meanwhile, Cruz says his office will next look at raises and bonuses given at the port, but the public auditor warns that if no action comes from the OPA findings, the port raises audit will be the last one they do.
If the AG doesn't do anything or the legislature does something to forgive, then we'll stop at two agencies.
For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
In another statement sent today, the AG's office said, "We share the public's interest in ensuring that laws are followed. However, violation of the open government law is not enough to secure a criminal conviction. We are required to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that there was an intention to break the law. As illustrated in a recent criminal case, it is a challenge to prove intent when actions are taken either in the presence of or under the guidance of legal counsel," end quote. The time and date have officially been calendared. Congressman Michael St. Nicholas is officially scheduled to deliver his annual congressional address on Monday, January 6th. Although the congressman requested it be delivered at 7 p.m., he has officially been scheduled to speak at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Stay tuned. We are back with more news after the break.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
It makes myself and it makes my team members very proud to work for an organization that has been on island for many years with its focus on reliability, dependability, and commitment to the communities that they operate in.
Matson's a great corporate citizen to the community.
We all benefit from any sort of environmental commitment we make. One of the ways that we do that is with our Adahi Utano program. There's action behind it, and so action breeds commitment.
With the Kaimana Gila coming to Guam, this brings a new age and modernization to the island.
It's exciting for me because it's a brand new ship and we can carry more freight into the islands. It just shows growth for Guam and Micronesia.
Matson would be nothing without its customers, and we hope to continue to serve you for decades to come.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
At the mall as you enjoy your shopping, dining, or entertainment. You could also win 3 great cars from Atkins Kroll and thousands of prizes in Micronesia Mall's Cars, Prizes, and Getaways game. Present your mall receipts and have a chance to win the renowned performance Chevrolet Camaro, the unapologetic rugged Toyota 4Runner, or the head-turning Lexus ES350 Luxury. Getaways to Manila, courtesy of Philippine Airlines, plus prizes from Foot Locker and Burger King. The more you shop, the more chance to win in Micronesia Mall's Cars, Prizes, and Getaways game.
This holiday season, take a deal home at the Big Finish 2019, only at Cars Plus. Finish the year with the perfect gift under your Christmas tree. Take advantage of employee pricing on new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Visit us at carsplusguam.com.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
Welcome back. Early this afternoon, units from the Guam Fire Department responded to a structure fire on Francisco Javier Street in Agani Heights. According to GFD spokesperson Kevin Riley, residents were able to safely evacuate the home without injury after attempting to extinguish the fire themselves, which was confined to the bedroom of the single-story concrete home. The Guam Fire Department very busy this afternoon, this time responding to the scene of an auto motorcycle crash along Marine Corps Drive right in front of the Guam Home Center in Dededo. A 31-year-old man who was the operator of the motorcycle was conscious and responsive but was transported to the hospital for injuries. The other male patient, the operator of the car, was also treated at the scene. Motorists experienced slight delays in traffic with the outermost northbound lane closed while GPD investigated the incident. He's facing terrorizing, criminal mischief, and family violence charges. 69-year-old Hua Young Chung was arrested on Christmas Eve after he allegedly assaulted and threatened to kill a woman if he didn't give him money. Court documents state Chung swung a golf club at the victim, damaging a wooden cabinet and then at a TV. He then pulled the victim's hair to get her out of his way. Chung told police the woman agreed to give him $500 to help him out, and during the argument, he slammed the counter as she approached him. He also admitted he grabbed her by the hair but denied ever hitting her. 30-year-old Mike Taman was arrested on charges of family violence and unlawful restraint after he allegedly dragged a woman from a car and assaulted her. The disturbance was reported by his mother on Christmas Eve in Barrigada, where she arrived to take Taman, the victim, and a child to the beach. Court documents state Taman appeared to be drunk and his mother told him to stay home. As the three were leaving, Taman allegedly ran after the car and pounded on the passenger door. The victim opened it and Taman pulled her out by her hair, struck her on the back of the head, and dragged her by her hand. According to court documents, Taman admitted to the incident and then that he drank several cans. The reward has been doubled for any information leading to an arrest for the deadly Maritzo pet poisoning incident. KUAM's Adriana Cotero reports.
There have been 20 reports to date of animals infected by antifreeze poisoning within a 6-week time span in the village of Maritzo.
It's rapid and it's all kind of in this one location, so there's a lot of indicators that there's foul play or something's not right. This number is quite large, and for it to be in such a kind of a solid location is very concerning and disheartening.
The investigation continues for the person responsible for the deadly poisoning of the pets. And Guam Animals in Need, or GAIN, has announced a reward increase of $2,000 for any information brought forward. According to GAIN Executive Director Allison Hadley, 18 dogs and 2 cats belonging to 3 families living on Kineni Road have been affected.
It depends kind of on the animal, but I mean it's kind of a slow, unfortunate passing, and depending on how much they eat, that's kind of what determines whether or not they'll sort of survive.
Hadley says they have not experienced a poisoning on such an extreme level in the past. She adds there has been animals that survived after consuming antifreeze, but they still experience internal damages and long-term negative effects with their organs. Due to the locations of the pets, accidental poisoning was ruled out. In a press release from the GAIN office, Kathy Champaco, who was devastated by the loss of 2 family pets, says this, quote, "Our pets were intentionally poisoned, and the mere fact that our neighbors just a quarter-mile radius from our street had pets that expired in the same way. This is not isolated at all. It was blatant, done with malice, and was downright cruel," end quote. And the doubling of the reward amount was made possible by a new donor who wished to remain anonymous.
It's nice to see that there are other people who aren't even involved in the case that are just looking for some sort of justice, for information, just because these types of things I think have to happen a lot more often than we think, and we just don't know. People just don't realize it. We are just trying to work with these few families that have come forward, just to try and help bring some closure at the very least.
If you have any information regarding the incident, you can contact GAIN at 653-4246 or GPD at GuamCrimeStoppersWeb.com. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
The holiday season is in full swing. New Year's Eve is just days away, and the Guam Police Department wants to remind everyone about what's on the books. Fireworks are illegal unless sanctioned by the Guam Fire Department. Any fireworks sold on island are considered contraband. Now, many of you may shoot off firearms into the air. That is illegal. As well, spokesperson Paul Tapau reminds the community it is against the law to discharge a firearm in a residential area.
We want to break away from that tradition. That's a tradition that's still in existence today, and we want to break away from that. That's one of the celebrations that we want to sort of steer from. Discharging of your firearm, it's a crime. It's against the law. There's some safety issues that goes with that.
According to Sergeant Tapau, there have been cases in past years where injuries were reported as a result of firearms being shot off on New Year's Eve. In addition, GPD also wants to prevent individuals from driving under the influence, asking the community to designate a responsible, sober driver. Stay tuned. Sports is coming up next.
Guam is truly a majestic place with its sheer natural beauty, wealth of beaches, and culturally rich landscape. Unfortunately, Guam has a real problem with unwanted invasive species. Help us in preventing their introduction and spread. The coconut rhinoceros beetle, the little fire ant, the African snail, Siam weed. These are just a few of the numerous invasives on Guam. Follow proper custom procedures when bringing plants and animals into Guam.
Help protect Guam. Tell your family and friends about invasive species.
To report invasive species, call 475-PEST.
Sanctuary exists to improve the quality of life for Guam's youth experiencing family conflict in an effort to preserve family unity. Our services include 24-hour crisis intervention, temporary safe refuge, counseling, and prevention programs. The reality is, Guam as we know it has changed. The family unit as we know it has changed. Now is the time for us to step in and help youth and families help themselves. Support the magic of giving.
The KUAM Podcast Network is on demand and available anytime for you to get your fill of the hottest topics from Teen KUAM.
These types of things are happening.
From news.
He has been in and out of jail since 2012.
To pop culture.
There's a bunch of people even saying now this is the greatest movie of all time.
That's crazy.
Health and nutrition.
We're putting all these chemicals into our body, all these preservatives, and down the line we have health issues.
Food.
I'm very passionate about really good food.
Nostalgic playlists and everything in between.
This guy has worked with Justin Bieber, DJ Khaled, Chance the Rapper.
The amount of fangirling right now that's happening inside this body is crazy.
So listen up whenever and wherever and subscribe and follow us today on SoundCloud, on Apple Podcasts, and on Spotify or your favorite podcast platform.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
This week's athletes of the week, a few Southern High wrestlers, Eden Santos and Eli Pakaigui. First off, first-year wrestler and going undefeated in your weight class, and then also taking this year's All-Island Gold. Talk about how you got involved with the sport.
I wanted to do a different sport besides cross-country and track, and my parents gave me a choice between wrestling and rugby, and I chose wrestling.
And your sister's a pretty dominant wrestler for this year's season. How much of benefit was that for you, having her as a training partner and also on the team as well?
It was really fun. I get to practice with her during practice and after, when we would go to the gym and practice even more. She really pushed me to where I am.
Ellie, back-to-back gold medals, defending your title, but this year's season was a lot more competitive than last year.
Last year I only had like 3 competitors. This one was over like 10. It was just very competitive, and you just had to put in the extra work to push through and get the goal.
Yeah, let's talk about the work you guys put in, really trying to change the program there at Southern High, really trying to have the athletes buy into the system.
Yeah, a lot of people's perspective on Southern High is really bad because, like, back then, you're only known for fighting, only bad stuff, but this generation, we're just trying to change the views of other people and make Southern look better.
There's a few parents that also contributed their time to help with the wrestling program and put in that work with training and helping you guys out at practice.
Yeah, all our parents would support us, do whatever they could for us during our practices and our matches. Just want to say thank you guys.
Winning the girls' title this year, Academy was pretty tough, but you guys pulled it out in the end.
We had 4 gold medalists in for Southern, and that really would made us win. And then also almost all our girls got placed, almost all got like medals.
Winning Southern's first ever girls title, how does that feel? What was that like?
It was really exciting, great, just to win something.
Let's talk about the coaching staff helping out and, really getting you guys to where you guys are now.
Yeah, the coaches sometimes we would have parent volunteers come put in extra training, conditioning, and it was just really tough through the camp basically, and then we just had to just find it in ourselves and just keep pushing and then just do whatever we have to. And then the coaches will always push us to our limit. So we have this wall we talk about at Southern. We have to reach that wall and we eventually have to surpass it and break it. So that's what we go by. We just have to meet the wall and then break it.
Shout outs.
Just want to say thank you to my parents, my coaches, everyone that helped me. Southern, who are accepting me, and ND for allowing me to wrestle for Southern High.
Same shout out to my parents, my family, all the coaches that helped us, and thanks.
Smiling is a natural response to joy, happiness, and excitement. Your smile reveals a lot about who you are. A healthy, beautiful smile can brighten your appearance and be an invitation to conversation and friendship. It is often one of the first things people notice about you. Now, thanks to the advancements in dentistry, you can have the smile you have always wanted, giving you an improved smile that looks and feels great.
My silver fillings that I have, they're getting older in my mouth and I need to replace them. So I've started to do that and I've replaced them with the white fillings and I've had really great success with that. It looks good, they feel natural, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the bleaching. I want a white look all around my mouth.
Welcome back. Here's your latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
Friday means the weekend is upon us, just about, but let's celebrate today by saying happy birthday to tonight's celebrants, led off by Krista Wells, who has a birthday today. So, Krista, we hope you blew up the candles and had a fantastic day. And it's also birthday number 38 to Jolene Iglesias Cruz, and to my cousin Jolene, may you have many more birthdays to come, and may God be with you always. I love and miss you from your sis, Deborah. And she says, XOXOXXO. That's a lot of hugs and kisses. And when it comes from your cousin, that's always awesome. And Evangelina Sablan, happy birthday number 74 to Grandma from Jigo. We love you very much. God bless you. Say the Padilla and the Sablan familias. Happy birthday to you all, and hope you had a fantastic day.
You can be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. All you have to do is go to KUAM.com. As for the winner of this week's Cold Stone Creamery cake, it goes to Joshua Leo Alianza. Congratulations. A representative will be contacting you on how you can redeem your delicious cake. And that's going to do it for us here on Primetime. Thanks for watching. Extra is up next.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Green Energy Solutions, Inc. Visit GESIGuam.com or call 647-8111 for more details on how we can help your business save money.
Holiday, everybody. Happy holidays and welcome to KUM News Extra. I'm Jason Salas. I have got the man on the KUM couch, Sergeant Paul Tapau with GPD. And Sergeant, I want to shed light on something because you allowed us to actually tag along and check out this wonderful event that you did. Adriana Cotero filed the report. GPD actually went up to FB Leon Guerrero School and had friendly competition. You guys went head-to-head with some 8th graders in basketball. That story got a ton of views. People were like, that was amazing. And that's actually a program you guys have ongoing.
It is. It's part of the Guam Police Department's youth initiatives and what we do at the community affairs. And it was really, the partnership that we have with the Department of Education and with the respective schools. It's our lunch with the kids. We had a lunch event at the Antelope Middle School, Ocean View Middle School, and FB wanted to do something different. So, what better way than to build that role model mentorship aspect than really engaging them in the court. And it was fun. And the officers that came out were detectives from the juvenile investigation. We had Morgan Regis from the Highway Patrol Division. And we had
herself is a phenomenal athlete.
Absolutely.
Remember Morgan when she was in high school?
Yeah,
dominated
she is.
Everything.
Yeah, she was and she still is, and she still continues to bring that to the court. And we also had guys from our Special Operations Division, but overall, everybody was a winner in that part, and it was great because we met the kids. We've engaged with the kids, and of course, prior to the match, we actually had lunch with them. So, it was good. It was good because it was they were teetering towards the closing of the onto their Christmas break. So we spent some good quality time with the kids, and I had some good remarks from abroad where people saw that and they're like, that's great, So it really is that community-based partnership in which the Guam Police Department works for and seeks, and the Guam Department of Education has been great partners and great stewards with our endeavors.
And you've told us this because you yourself, I mean, you're not exactly like a newbie athlete yourself. I remember you in high school. You were a beast in offensive and defensive line, right? So you've always used yourself, and you've said this, you want to use sports as a vehicle to connect with young people. And doing this and actually meeting kids essentially on their turf, in their home away from home, at school, you develop that empathy with them, right? How do you feel that doing that, in that venue and, in a place where they're comfortable, was your message able to be communicated better, and was it well received by them?
It was great. The atmosphere in itself, the lead up to that event was great, and the anticipation of the kids, and when they saw us on the court, they're like, Sergeant Tapau, you look very different on a uniform and stuff. It was like, hey man, you bring out the beast, you gotta pay the price and everything. But
Marshawn Lynch isn't the only one who goes to beast mode, you guys. I remember this
great,
guy.
and speaking with sports and how we use it, it's gratifying to see that the kids take the substance back in what we're teaching. We the beginning of December we had our fadeaway from violence kickball tournament, and the partnership with the GFA, the Guam Football Association, I think this is a great marriage because the kids that we had 21 schools, 21 elementary schools out of 26 elementary schools participate, over 400 athletes at the GFA. And, the kids, when they walked into the pitch, it was like they've never felt that turf. They've never seen level playing field. And we provided that atmosphere, but the engagement that they had with the officers, because every game or every match that was played in the kickball tournament, we had an officer that was actually umpiring the event, and it was really something to see kids from the opposing team encouraging them to play harder. And this is the substance where we try to teach the kids and bettering them. And again, the fade away from violence, this is the brainchild from the Guam Police Department's Women Advisory Network, and we took a step further, and we continued the momentum in which they started. So working with the kids and using sports as that vehicle, I think we found our go-to ticket item when we do our community events for our youth.
Now, I've covered some of the other programs that you have. I consider myself very fortunate. We've seen a police recruit class in training. Yes. We've seen the youth cadet program that you have, like at the various schools. And I know that one thing when you step in and you're part of the cadre, right, is whether you're talking to a third grader, a middle schooler, a high schooler, college-age kid, you enforce two things. You always say, one is teamwork, two is attention to detail. Those are the foundations of what we do as a paramilitary operation in GPD, right?
Yes.
How do you actually get kids to really buy into that? To say, then they can say, hey, I'm just a student, I live in League One Terrace across the street and everything like that. Why do I have to worry about attention to detail and teamwork at my age?
We bring it to their level, and you know, I want to bring this conversation to the kickball tournament. When we do when we did our tournament, we actually had school volunteers or student volunteers from Ukudu High School and Tizen High. So the respective ROTC programs from the Tizen High Air Force Academy and of course the Ukudu High, the junior Marine cadets.
Yep.
Yeah, and the kids, the grade school kids, they were looking up and they're like, these are high school students. These guys are wearing uniforms out there. You know, they're dressed in their battle uniforms, and they're actually engaging the kids. So they see it, and it really brings that the level down to them where it's right after middle school, I get to go into high school and I can be a part of that. And that's the substance in which we want to bring, is that peer mentorship from the cadets as they brought it there. So, you know, the success of everything that we do is really engaging in where we can actually have more bang for the buck, so to say, and how do we reach the audience. And, you know, the partnership that we've established with GDOE, you know, the media partners such as you guys, you know, KUAM and the Post, GFA, and everybody who helped us along the way with our initiatives. It really, you can see it, you can see the success, and I guess the way we measure the level of success is the smile on each and every child that was a part of the event.
And final point, because we got to go to commercial break, but tell me what it is from your vantage point as a longtime officer of the law, right? You've seen some kids that you went and visited their school when they were like in 2nd, 3rd grade. You've seen them grow up, and like now that they're productive members of society, as graduating seniors in high school and everything like that. You know, these aren't kids who you guys have to like chase around or be on, you know, look out on the streets because you know, they're bad news and everything. You guys are actually making a difference in their life.
It's.
What does that mean to you?
It's rewarding. It really is. You know, when you hear stories of where students who are a part of our event come back and tell us that they're off to a great start in school, they're going to accomplish this, they know how to set their goals, and we saved their life. I mean, when I shared the story, the success stories with our team, it's like, this is what we do. You know, Mother Teresa said, we cannot feed 100 people, but we can feed one person. Same thing, you know, we can't save everybody, but we can affect one person's life, we know we did our job. And that's the whole purpose of our community affairs and all our youth initiative and all the initiatives that we do. If we can make a difference in one person's life, we know we did our job.
All right. Well, you're a good man, Sarge. We appreciate
the
friendship. We appreciate the dedication to Guam. We appreciate the Mother Teresa quote too. That was good. That was really good.
Thank you so much. I got that from my daughter, believe it or not.
Very good.
Yeah, she's a member of the Academy of Our Lady Walking Nuns, and you know, big ups to them for you know giving back to the community.
All right. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.
Thank you. God bless.
All right. We'll see you after this.
Normal should never be abandoned, abused, neglected. 265 foster children on Guam have longed for family, clothes, and food. See their faces, hear their stories, be a foster family, and bring them